Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to this video tutorial for grade 4 mathematics, and in this video we are going to learn rounding to nearest decimal place. Before starting how to learn rounding to nearest decimal place, first we need to understand about the decimal places. Let me say I'm going to write a number here. The number is 2. I'm going to write another number is 1.41. Another number that I'm going to write is 3.569. Now if we look at this number, there is no decimal place in this number because there is no decimal part. In this number, in 1.41, if I will write 1.41 here, you can see here this has two parts. This part is decimal part and this part is whole part. Now in this number there is only whole part, so we will say it is a whole number only. There is no decimal place in this one. In this number there are two decimal places because after the decimal there are two digits, so we will say these are two decimal places. Shortly to decimal place we will write DP, and there are two decimal places. For this one, this is 3.569. One thing keep in mind, we will write we will read after the decimal each digit as a single digit. Instead of 569 we will read as single digit. Mean we need to read it as 3.569. Now in this one, after the decimal there are three digits, so we will say there are three decimal places, and in this one there is no decimal place, so this is a whole number. So if we have a three decimal place digit, we can round it to two decimal or one decimal or to whole number. When we do rounding is actually an approximation. So let's learn how we will round to the nearest decimal place. Let's take this example. For example, this one is 1.41. Now it has two decimal places here. If we want to round this to one decimal place, it means after decimal now we need only one place. So what we will do, we will look at, when we are rounding to the one decimal place, we will look at the second decimal place. For example, here the second decimal place is 1. If the second decimal place is 0, 1, 2, 3 or 4, so there will be no change in the remaining part. But if it is 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9, then we will add 1 in the first decimal place. So right now here this is second decimal place is 1, so we are rounding to one decimal place, so there will be no change. It will be only 1.4. We will remove the, so this is going to be one decimal place. For example, if we have 3.46, now if I have to round this to, this is having two decimal places. So if I have to round it to one decimal place, so I need to look at the second decimal place. Now the second decimal place is 6, so it means we will add 1 here. So it will become 3.5. So this is to one decimal place. In the same way, if we have to round to the nearest whole number, so what we will do, let me take the same example. I will round them to the nearest whole number. If I have 1.41 and I want to round to the nearest whole number, if we are rounding to the nearest whole number, then we need to look at the first decimal place. First decimal place, the rule will be same. If it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, then in the whole part there will be no change. But if it is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, then in the whole part we will add 1. So when you are rounding to the nearest whole number, you need to look at the first decimal place. So in this case, the first decimal place is 4, so there will be no change in the whole part. So this, when if I will round this one to the nearest whole number, so it is going to be 1. Now in this case, for example, if I have 3.46, if we have to round this to the nearest whole number, So what we need to do is we will look at the first decimal place. First decimal place is from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then there will be no change in the whole part. So it is going to be 3. And so on. In this way it will continue. So this is how we round off, and this is a real lesson you have taken it previously also. So in case you have any question, you can send me a message. I'll reply you. Thank you.